I'm back with some more crypto airdrop and yield farming alpha, and I'm going to tell you a bunch of things that you can do right now to earn rewards in the next couple of months. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to run through a few claims that you might have missed from the past few weeks if you've been following along with some of my stuff in the previous videos. So let's start out with Hyperlane. They just announced that they are going to be doing another reward, another airdrop, and they announced that the snapshot date is June 30th for this next round. All you need to do to qualify is to spend a minimum of $3 in Hyperlane fees. So that should be like 2 or 3 bridge transactions depending on which routes you're using. Now, I think it's obviously going to be better if you do more than $3, but that is the minimum qualifier. So this means you still have time to qualify for this, and it's not relevant whether or not you were eligible for the first round of the Hyperlane airdrop. You can just make some bridge transactions now and qualify, and the claims for this will be in mid-July. So I highly recommend, especially if you're bridging around and doing things anyways, to try a couple of routes through Hyperlane and make sure that you meet at least that minimum qualifier, if not more, within the next month. Now, in case you don't know what Hyperlane bridges there are, I'm going to link this down below. I've also shared this for sure in other videos, but this is the link tree of all of the different bridges or apps, whatever you want to call them, that use and have integrated Hyperlane. This one right here, Nexus, is one of the main ones, and it has a ton of different routes that you can explore to meet that criteria. Okay, next up, let's talk about OpenSea. So they've moved to the next portion of their airdrop campaign, and you can do a bunch of stuff now that you couldn't do previously. And just a reminder for all the people that may not know, OpenSea is going to reward all previous NFT trading activity going all the way back to 2020 and the previous crypto NFT season. So if you made those types of trades way back then, don't worry, you're still going to get an allocation, a completely separate allocation for that past activity. But now they actually launched their new upgraded platform, and they've got a bunch of tasks that you can do to earn some points and still qualify for an additional allocation. So I highly recommend checking out the rewards tab here in the new OpenSea page. There's a bunch of activities. The different tasks have XP rewards based on how difficult they are to complete, and you can check to see when they expire to make sure that you finish them before it's too late. Some of these I think are actually expiring today, like this one here. All you have to do is create your own gallery in OpenSea. It's super simple. Purchase any NFT. A lot of these are very easy. You can get some badges and you can get some XP for doing this. So I would say, given the amount of funding OpenSea has, the fact that they haven't dropped a token and they are actively promoting this new campaign page, makes sense to do a little bit of this stuff. It's very, very low effort and low risk. You can complete all of these tasks without speculating massively on NFT prices and risking any capital. And given that OpenSea is the biggest, the OG NFT exchange, and they don't have a token, whereas most, if not all of the other major NFT exchanges do have tokens, I would say that this is actually a pretty decent target. Okay, next up, let's talk about Eclipse. So there should be some kind of airdrop coming soon. However, they just launched a new yield-bearing stablecoin on the Eclipse network called TUSD. And by holding this token in your wallet, you actually earn a yield which is based on T-bills, treasuries. So I think this could be potentially some sort of multiplier or a qualifier. It just launched like a day or two, and there's 2 ways that you could get some of this. You can mint it on mainnet by going to the official Eclipse page, clicking on this button here, Mint TUSD, and then swapping into it or bridging from ETH mainnet to Eclipse, and then you get the TUSD in your wallet. The other option, if you don't want to mint officially from mainnet, is to use Skate Chain's swap page, where you can just already on Eclipse, if you have USD, you can swap into TUSD. So I'm actually going to do that now. I just bridged some USDC to Eclipse this morning, and I'm going to now swap it for TUSD. Earn that yield, which honestly is not bad given the interest rates on T-bills these days, and then also potentially add this, or at least tick that box for qualifying for the Eclipse airdrop. If it's not a qualifier, maybe it'll be some kind of multiplier. So I would say it makes sense to at least do this with a minimal amount. You don't need to necessarily do as much as I just did, but if you did at least, like $25, $50, or $100, something like that, I would say that would be a solid box ticking exercise. Okay, next up, let's talk about Loud. So this alpha is not technically related to airdrops or yield farming. However, it is definitely a potential opportunity to make money if you actually manage to get in. So what is Loud? They are a new token that is launching tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, 10 a.m. EST on May 31st. So if you are watching this video on the day that I published it, it means there is still time. This is going to be a pre-sale with a maximum allocation of 0.2 SOL per wallet. But they are offering the pre-sale at such a tiny valuation that if you do manage to get into it, you're almost guaranteed to make a massive multiplier on your money, potentially even 100x or something ridiculous. They are offering the pre-sale at an FDV of 155,000, and they're offering 45% of the supply at that rate. Of course, once this token actually goes live for trading, it's going to trade in the millions, maybe even in the hundreds of millions, although it's really impossible to say, but regardless, you'll certainly make money if you can get into the pre-sale. So that leads to the next portion of this, which is how can you get in the pre-sale? The first opportunity is to be an influencer. I'm not even going to be eligible for that part of it, so just probably cross that off your list. But the second option is the first come, first served phase 2 allocation, where there's 120,000 whitelisted wallets, and all of these have already been recorded and a snapshot taken. In order to be on that eligibility list, all you need is to have 10 plus smart followers on Krypto, and you can check to see how many you have just by visiting the Krypto page. So if you're eligible and part of this, then you have an opportunity to participate in this first come, first serve pre-sale and potentially turn 0.2 SOL into who knows how much, a lot. So I will definitely be trying this tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. If you do want to try it out, set your alarm, make sure that you're ready because it's probably going to go very, very quickly. And since it's such a low risk, 0.2 SOL maximum contribution, there's really minimal downside and incredible upside if you can get in. And that's going to be the hard part. Now, if you do manage to get into this pre-sale, I would recommend dumping immediately or shortly afterwards. I think we're probably gonna see a price chart similar to what we saw on meme tokens like Melania. This one is not gonna last long. I'm sure if we look back in a few weeks from now, the price chart will look something like this. Okay, let's move to Hyperliquid. There's a couple of updates for you. Now, I just posted a video yesterday or 2 days ago breaking down exactly how you can get started farming the Hyperliquid airdrop for their upcoming rounds of the airdrop. So check that video out if you haven't already. But then, since I made that video, there's actually a couple of updates. And one of them is on the looped hype, which is a leveraged staked hype position. They launched their own point system, and you earn points by farming this simply by holding the L-Hype token in your wallet and staking with them. I think that this could end up being a decent flywheel for staked hype. So if you do have some hype and you're looking for ways that you can farm with it, I would say that this is now a very solid airdrop target because it hits multiple airdrops at the same time and gives you that leveraged exposure to the ecosystem. And then the other project is Hyperswap that I wanted to mention. So they just launched the new season of points that is going to be going for 2 months, and there's limited points per week. So the earlier that you get in and start earning these points, the better off you'll be. If you skip a month, if you get a little bit lazy, bookmark this video or the other video that I published the other day and then come back later, there will be less of an opportunity to earn points. The earlier that you get in, the better, since they literally just launched this yesterday. And this was already on my list of top potential airdrop targets within the Hyperliquid ecosystem. So I would say checking this out is definitely a solid thing to do. And then finally, let's run through some claims that you might have missed, which I did promise to do. Camino Finance Season 3 airdrop claims are now live, so I'll leave a link to that down below. Then we've got the Sofon airdrop claims. Now this one you might have been eligible for if you were a user on zkSync or if you actively farmed Sofon itself. That was a decent little stimmy of a couple $100 that I got. The Resolve claim is live. This one comes with a 2-week unstaking cooldown period though, so no one that actually claimed on day one has been able to actually sell yet. However, the earlier that you unstake, the earlier you'll be able to sell. The Move Drop mainnet airdrop is now live. So if you opted to claim your Move tokens on the Movement network, now you can actually claim them. And then finally, the Huma Finance airdrop claim is also live, and you can claim and sell that token. So those are the claims that you might have missed from the past couple of weeks, or at least some of the bigger ones. And hopefully you found today's alpha helpful. I tried to front load the stuff that requires action now, and then give you the updates on the claims you may have missed near the end. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend. Bye.